आम चैप्टर 4 स्टार्ट करथिले अर्थर आज आमे एठू कंटिन्यू करिया पुणी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हाँ, दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी। हरे कृष्ण। नोइंग कृष्ण एज ही इज हम पढुथिले। एठे हम पढुथिले जे भगवान के सहित देखा हबा पई बा भगवान के सहित कथा हबा पई कोन क्वालिफिकेशन अछि, वो माया कोन। बहुत सुंदर भाव रे बहुत इजी लैंग्वेज रे प्रभुपाद एठी बतैथिले है ना। कार मन अछि माया कोन प्रभुपाद कोन कहिथिले। माया माने we are forgetful of the situation that we are being controlled. आम माने जे कंट्रोल होउचे इटा भूली जिबा ही माया माने भ्रम। भ्रम रे हम पढुचे काहे ना हमें भूली जाउचे है ना। सो हम कोन करिया पडिबा ने we have to go beyond it है ना। प्रभुपाद गोटे बहुत सुंदर उदाहरण देथिले जे शकुनी सापे गोरु मरे ना। जे if a vulture, let us have in English. So if a vulture curses the cow or the cattle that you will die, will the cattle die? No, because the vulture is thinking from his point of view. He is not the controller of the cow or the cattle. Similarly, out of being controlled, we are thinking that we are the controllers, but actually we are being controlled. Okay, so now we'll continue from here. How little Prahlad would pray, we understood that. Now we'll hear this. There is also another prayer. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu Me. Prabhupada quoted it. O Lord of the universe, please be visible unto me. This is the meaning of it. Be visible unto me. O Lord of the universe, please be visible unto me. In all these prayers and in many others, the supreme controller of the universe is acknowledged. Everyone is trying to become supreme controllers, but it is not possible by individual, communal, or national effort. Because everyone is trying to be supreme, there is great competition in the world. The world is created in such a way, however, that no one can become supreme, regardless of what position we place ourselves in. So, here the world's condition is being explained, that even though we try to make out, try to conclude that we are the controllers, we are controlling the nature, we have technology can control it. No, we can't control. We may buy cars, but we cannot have traffic-free roads. We may build bridges, but we cannot say that there won't be any accidents. We may try to do health insurance, but we can't say we will not fall sick. We can do all kinds of protection, but it cannot secure anything. It cannot confirm that the situation will not be just the opposite. We cannot say that. We can arrange the operation, but we cannot say about the patient. Even doctors say, we don't know. We depend on the mercy of Lord. So regardless of whatever position we place ourselves in, we will find that someone is inferior to us, and that someone is superior. So at all times, somebody will be inferior to us and somebody will be superior to us. And no one individual can say, I am the supreme. No one is above me. Nor can anyone say, I am the most inferior. No one is below me. So we cannot say that I am the supreme or the topmost, or we cannot say that we are the lowest. Because Lord only knows that who is at the lowest and Lord only knows, and definitely we are not the Supreme. Supreme only is Krishna. So once we think that we are the most inferior, we'll immediately find that someone is inferior to us. If we think that we are the lowest, suppose we think that we have scored the least mark in the class. Sorry, we have scored the least percentage in our board. Now we'll find somebody else, maybe they have scored less than us. So that is the case. And the moment we think we are the Supreme, the Lord will show us through some tricks that he is that we are not Supreme, but somebody else is Supreme. That's why we should understand that we are neither the Supreme, neither the lowest. God's position, however, is not like this. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna asserts his superiority himself in this way. So this is the most famous sloka of the Bhagavad Gita, where it is said that how Krishna is the supreme most. Kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam shutre mani ganaiva. So what it says, O conqueror of wealth, Arjun, there is no truth superior to me. Everyone rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So it's saying that everything is actually resting upon me. Krishna is saying that everything is resting upon me, Arjun. And how he's giving the examples, an example of you have seen a pearl necklace. This is a pearl necklace, and you'll see this is a thread, and outside the thread, the pearls will be strung like this. So from far, if somebody sees, he will see what? These things only the pearls. He cannot see the thread. He cannot see the thread. But actually, due to the thread only, the necklace is sustaining. So that's why if somebody does not understand this, then he is actually a fool. So that's why Krishna is clearly explaining that everything rests upon me and no truth is superior to me. I am the supreme most. So what more proof we want? God is what? In Vedas it is said, God is asama urdha. Asama plus urdha. He is neither equal nor that means no one can be equal or superior to him. No one can be. Like we cannot be equal to Lord, neither can we be superior to the Lord. The Lord is at the supreme position. If we find someone who has no superior, we can accept him as God. So once what happened, Prabhupada was talking to a disciple and one outsider was present there. He asked a question to Srila Prabhupada. He asked Prabhupada, you say God can do everything and he's the topmost. Okay. Can God create a stone which he himself cannot lift? Can God create a stone which he himself cannot lift? What do you say? Can God create such a stone? Please answer.
Yes, Prabhuji, I think he can create.
Okay. And if he can create a stone which he himself cannot lift, that means how he is God? He cannot lift a stone, just a simple stone he cannot lift. And how can somebody say that he's God? Isn't it? Both ways you fall in a trap here. Such a tricky question it is. So just imagine how Srila Prabhupada answered him. Prabhupada told him that yes, God can create a stone which he himself cannot lift. And the next moment he will lift it. So first he created the stone which he himself also cannot lift it. And the next moment, just because he is God, he can do everything. he can lift the stone again also. So that is God. Awesome also. Nobody can be equal to or superior to him. God can be defined as one who has no superior and who has no equal. This is the Vedic version. In the Upanishads, it is said, Natat samaschapya dikascha drishtaye drishyate. No one is found equal or greater than Nata samaschapya dikascha drishyate. Another characteristic of God is that he has nothing to do. One characteristic is God is asamauta, and another characteristic is being told as he has nothing to do. It's not mandatory that he should do something. No. In the material world, when a man is considered very important, he always has a great number of things to do. The president of the states, for instance, is considered to be the supreme man in the country. But as soon as there is some disturbance in Central Europe or in any other place in the world, he immediately has to call a meeting with his cabinet to consider how to deal with the situation. So even he is required to do so many things. So Prabhupada is saying God does not have to do anything. And for example, he is giving that even the presidents of the states, he has to call meetings, decide and how to act upon some emergency situation came. So that means he cannot be God because he has to do something. He is doing so much. So what is Prabhupada saying? If he doesn't do anything, if the president does not do anything, he is no longer the supreme man. If he cannot do anything, then people will not respect him. People will not accept him as a president. In Vedic literatures, however, we find that God has nothing to do. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. So Krishna may act in so many ways in the world, but it is not because he is required to do so. This is indicated in the Bhagavad Gita. He need not do anything, but still he is acting. Why is doing it? Why? Here it is told. Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nam nana paptam avaptavyam bharta eva cha karmani. Saying, oh son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems. Neither am I in want of anything, nor have I the need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in work. So what he's saying? That Krishna himself is declaring to Arjuna that I don't have to do anything. Nothing is prescribed for me. In material world, I don't have to do anything. Neither am I in want of anything. Krishna does not need anything. He already has everything. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He doesn't need anything from us. What will we give him? He is the boss and we are the servant. Whatever we may bring for him, that also he has. And nor have I need to obtain anything. Lord does not need anything. Everything is there in their house. Yet I am engaged in work. In this respect, it is interesting to note that one European gentleman who went to Calcutta and visited several temples. It's a wonderful story actually. Noted that in the temple of goddess Kali, the deity had a very ferocious figure with a chopper in hand and was cutting off the heads of demons and wearing them as garlands. In other temples, he saw the deity engaged in similar activities. But when he came to the Radha Krishna temple, when he came to the Radha Govinda temple, then what happened? He said, I find that in this temple there is God. When asked how he concluded this, he said, in every temple I saw the deity while doing something. But here I see that God is simply playing a flute and enjoying himself. Just see such a nice example, Prabhupada. And this is a real incident. He went to all other places, like if the outsiders they go to Calcutta, They'll go to so many places in Calcutta, Belur Math, some other blah blah temples. They'll go, and everywhere they'll see that God is doing something. Like Kali is holding chopper, somebody is holding some other weapons, but only Govind or Krishna is not holding anything to work. He's enjoying with his flute. What Prabhupada says, he obviously has nothing to do. This is a very intelligent conclusion. Indeed, it is a Vedic conclusion. Prabhupada says, yes, this is a Vedic conclusion. Okay, one more paragraph we'll read. Nowadays, it is becoming fashionable for people to claim that they are becoming God by meditation. This means that by meditations, it is possible to transform oneself to God. In other words, God meditates, and by his meditation, he becomes God. This is all nonsense. God is God, and he was always God and will always be God. Even as an infant on the lap of his mother, Krishna is God. No meditation was required, no austerity or penance. When Putana, the demoniac witch, came to poison baby Krishna, she came as a beautiful young girl and asked Mother Yasoda, as Jasodamai, you have very nice baby. Will you kindly give him to me so that I can nurse him? Jasoda was very simple village man, and she said, oh yes, you can take my child. And actually what had Putana planned? Putana had speared poison on her breast. And she intended to kill Krishna by letting him suck them. This is the demoniac spirit. Demons are always waiting to kill Krishna so they can say God is dead. There's no God. God is impractical. Krishna was so kind to Putana that he allowed her to nurse. So this is the mercy of Krishna. Even if he is not thinking that he is not my devotee, what shall I do? No, Krishna is kind to them. He sucked her breast. He not only sucked out, then Krishna not only sucked out the poison, but her life also. Putana fell to the ground, dead, and was immediately transformed. Where? Into the original demoniac form. Huge, 18 miles. Can you imagine? 18 miles long. He does not have to become God by meditation. Krishna did not become God by meditation. He was already like that, only 3 days old, and he killed Putana. By meditation, austerity, penance, God, nobody can become. He is substantially and eternally God, and he has nothing to do. If one claims that he can become God by worshipping such and such a deity, we should immediately take it that he is not a God, but he is a dog. So whimsically, if somebody accepts that he's God, so we can test him, and then we have to understand that he is not God, but actually dog. Okay, so I think we'll keep it here. If any questions, we can take. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji Putana, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Dandastana. Prabhuji Putana ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆସିଥିଲେ ସେତେବେଳେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ କେତେ ଦିନ କେତେ ହେଇଥିଲା 3 days, only 3 days.
Some are saying 3 days, some say 3 months. I have heard 3 days. What did Prabhupada write in Krishna book? I have to check Krishna book. Okay. Akar manna chedi kon? How many days?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. I have read Krishna movie 5 days. Krishna was 5 days when Putana came.
Oh, it is written in Krishna book?
Krishna book. Yeah. I have the English version.
Okay, then
English
5
na Odia version.
ODR लिखते हैं.
only 5 days.
हाँ, like that. Okay. ठीक है. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की